Happy Friday, peeps. I hope everyone's had a good week. Just thought I'd give you a quick update. Last time we spoke, the professor, my new professor, wanted me to have an MRI of my spine. He had said that there's a waiting list for about a month, but as soon as I've had that, he would slot me into his clinic. So as soon as I basically got off the phone to him, I kept calling the imaging department, and they said, oh no, it takes 48 hours to be authorised. So literally it was like, computer says no every day, computer says no, computer says no, call back Friday, call back Tuesday. I was going insane. I called and spoke to a lovely lady, and she said, no, I'm going to get this done for you as urgent. Call back tomorrow. So I called her back the next day, and she was like, I'm really sorry, we don't have anything for like, I don't know, some stupid date. And then all of a sudden she said, hang on, I can see you this Friday. And I was like, what the? I thought, I'm there. So, last night I got all prepared. I took my jewellery out, took my necklace off. I thought, I'm going to take like anything metal off. I'm going to be so prepared. I'm always like that before the MRI. I don't want it to be a rush. I was even trying to work out if I had any bras that didn't have metal in them, so that I didn't actually have to take my bra off, because I was just being lazy. And I thought, yeah, fine, I've got it all down to a T today. I get there, I go in, and I look down and I think, shit, Fitbit's on, watches on, necklaces on, and then I realised I had metal on the back of my bra. So I'm like, I mean, it's freezing in there. I'm like, what of my clothes can I keep on? Anyway, they get into the machine. Meanwhile, I'd asked the guy outside, I said, oh, is it head and spine? Because one of the neurologists wanted my head. He was like, yes, it's head and spine. So I get in there and they don't do the normal stuff. And I said, oh, is it not head and spine? And they were like, no, it's just spine. I'm like, okay, great. And you have to wear your mask in the tunnel, like when you have all these scans nowadays. And I've had countless numbers of scans. You know, they do not bother me. Yes, they're not pleasant, but I'm not you know, worried by them. Everyone, the nurses were like, are you okay, do you need me to stay here, hold your hand? I'm like, no. I said, let me tell you, I've had more scans than you've changed your underwear. And anyway, obviously, this time was just horrible. I don't know why. Maybe because it was hot in the room. I had the mask on my face. I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying not to move and breathe. But I couldn't breathe. It was just awful. And I'm thinking, right, Natalie, you've got two choices. You either press that buzzer to say to them you want to get out of there, or you just suck it up and you just focus on your breathing, and you're going to get through it. And before I even had a chance to make a choice, he was like, okay, Rebecca, your scan's finished. And so I come out and he's like, oh, you're not Rebecca, are you? And I was like, no, I'm Natalie. I said, but if you want me to be Rebecca today, I'll be Rebecca for you. And I came out of there and I just felt like it wasn't the most pleasant experience. I emailed the professor right away, and I've said to him, you know, as discussed, I've had the scan or whatever, so I look forward to seeing you whenever. So I feel that that's one step closer to some medication, because what happened the other night, I was with my daughter, and I was getting so aggravated by weird sensations in my feet, and I just thought, oh, here we go, shit's gonna hit the fan, it's all gonna explode, I'm gonna start one of these spasms. and it travelled up my leg and it went to my thigh, and I'm just breathing and breathing, and I just very like, I was like, Sams, will you just rub my leg? And she was like, no, I'm getting daddy. I think quite rightly so, she was upset by it, because it probably brought memories back of when I was having awful seizures. And this one lasted quite a while. When I say quite a while, I'm talking about probably about 5 minutes, which is a long time. You know, you're feeling the spasms all over, and basically it's all your muscles contracting, so you want them to rub them to try and release the contraction. And I ended up having to take an extra seizure pill, anti-seizure pill, which is, so I literally maxed out the dose the other night to 1,000 milligrams. Oh shit, I forgot to say that in my message to him. I'll send him another message. So that's how I know something not right is going on right now, because the fact that I'm on such a high dose of medication and yet still spasms are breaking through isn't great. I also, my doctors the other day told me I need my 4th COVID booster jab, but the professor has said, well, just wait a second and let me check your antibodies, because the boosters mess around with your immune system. And obviously if they're looking to get me started on some type of medication, they don't want to be messing around with a 4th booster. Look, I've had my 3rd, and you know, so hopefully I do have a lot of antibodies. But I know a lot of people who are immunosuppressant who have had 3 injections and haven't got a lot of antibodies. So it's all a bit of a worry still. I know that COVID is now so much more, just so much more relaxed, I think. You know, and the government are more lax, and because it's just out there and whatever. But for us, it's still very much there. It's not a case of, oh, you know, the fine line of enjoying your life and doing things. It's, you've still got to be very careful. So that's been playing on my mind a bit the last week, and I've let it get to me a bit too much. Like, I haven't felt like I've coped with it very well. You know, I just want to have like a few days of absolute normality. And it's very, very hard, because you want to go out and really enjoy things and everything, but with underlying problems you have an absolutely massive risk. It's like playing Russian roulette. It could go either way. So let's see what the scan shows. Hoping that everything's okay. However, in some ways you're going to think this sounds so weird. In some ways, if there were lesions on my spine, it would explain a lot of the spasms on my leg, because it would be like nerves being pinched. I don't know why they haven't done a full spine MRI for ages, to be honest, and maybe I should have pushed harder for it. So I know that sounds really weird, because you don't want anything to show up necessarily, but if something does show up, then it will explain something. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's my update. Hope everyone has had a good week. Hope everyone also feeling like this can understand it and understand how I'm feeling. I'm sure there are lots of people out there feeling the same way and juggling that balance, which you just got to make sensible decisions on what's necessary and what isn't right now. I hope you all have a really good weekend, and I hope to update you with some more news soon. Lots of love.